Today, House Republicans are voting on their plan to avert a government shutdown before Friday's deadline. They can only afford to lose one more Republican vote, as Congressman Thomas Massie says he's voting against the bill. Vice President JD Vance arrived earlier today for a closed-door meeting with House Republicans. Let's bring in ABC's Rachel Bade on Capitol Hill for more on all that. So, Rachel, what's Vance's message to Republicans ahead of this Friday deadline?
Hey there, Diane. Vance's message can basically be boiled down to one sentence, and that is if you like Donald Trump 2.0, his second administration, and what exactly he is doing, you have to sort of plug your nose and swallow and just pass this bill. I mean, the reality is that a lot of Republicans, they don't like voting for continuing resolutions. This is funding that they negotiated with Democrats a while back. Joe Biden is actually the person who signed it into law originally. They're just going to extend those same numbers, and they actually would prefer to do cuts. But look, a bipartisan deal is not happening right now. And what Vance is telling folks is that you have to vote for this. If you want to see us continue to do work cutting funding from DOGE, basically he's suggesting Elon Musk might get sort of handcuffed if this does not get passed in some way. There's a suggestion that all the sort of border crackdown and deportations that they're doing might be in jeopardy if this bill doesn't go through. If you want Trump's agenda to continue, he is telling them you have to vote for this. I think one of the other thing beyond the message he is giving to the conference is actually the messenger, Diane. I mean, when you have the vice president showing up and asking for your vote, that goes a long way with lawmakers. I mean, they're sort of tickled to get the attention of somebody who might actually be president someday and who certainly is considered the heir apparent for the MAGA movement.
So what's the latest on the plan that the House is voting on today? Can Speaker Johnson get these votes?
Well, right now the Speaker is saying he does think he's going to be able to pass this specifically with Republican-only votes. And I have to say that is extremely significant because typically CRs, they have to be sort of bipartisan to get through the chamber. Appropriations in general, you have to typically work with Democrats to get anything done. This is a different case, and that is a big deal given that Speaker Mike Johnson can only lose one member. If he loses anyone else, he's toast, and he's going to have to turn to Democrats. And I just want to sort of flash back to a year and a half ago. Freedom Caucus members, conservative hardliners, they actually ousted Kevin McCarthy as Speaker because he wanted to pass a continuing resolution. Exactly what Speaker Johnson is doing right now, and they ousted him from the speakership because of that. And now you actually have conservatives lining up and showing up at press conferences with Speaker Johnson saying they endorse this bill and that they want to pass this so they can continue to pass Trump's agenda and work on Trump's agenda. This just underscores how very different this environment is right now. With Donald Trump saying he wants something that typically conservatives don't like, they're lining up to do this. Whether they can get all the votes, though, to pass it, I mean, we'll know in a couple of hours.
All right, contributing political correspondent Rachel Bade, thank you.
Of course.